Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. It's our reading through the Tanak night, 28th of February, 2024. Okay, we'll be in the book of Jeremiah, picking up where we left off at last week. Okay, you can go to our YouTube channel, Prophets of Awakening, and check out our videos. We have over 900 or so videos with a range of different topics and different types of information to connect the dots for you. Okay, you can check those videos out, and I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like what you're hearing and receiving. Okay, we have a cash app at the bottom for anybody that wants to support the channel or further it along. Okay, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanak and the Torah. Tanakh being the Old Testament, so-called Book of Remembrance, and Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament that was given to Moses by the Lord of Hosts. It consists of our way of life, culture, our laws and statutes, okay, that govern us as Israelites. Okay, and just let you know that time has changed. We on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is from 7 to 9 instead of 8 to 10 as before. Try to start a little earlier, that way we won't be coming on so late. And then on Saturdays we have 2 Shabbat classes. We have a Shabbat class from 10 to 12 a.m. in the mornings. Then we come back for about an hour or so to close out the Sabbath from 6 to 7. That's every Shabbat day. Okay, so shalom and welcome to the channel, and welcome to our reading through the Tanakh. Okay, we do our normal, which is a moment of silence. We're going to do a prayer, read the Psalms. We have the current events, a little need to know information. Then we'll open it up for questions and comments or a little dialogue. And then we'll proceed to reading out of the book of Jeremiah, pick up where we left off at, reading and breaking down the scriptures. Okay? So this moment of silence is for the Lord of Hosts, our Redeemer, and all that He's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. Okay? Oh Lord, we pray unto the Lord, my God, and we make our confession. Oh Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping covenant and mercy to them that love thee and to them that keep thy commandments. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of face as it is this day, to the men of Judah, to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, okay, and to all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven us, because of our trespass that we have trespassed against thee. As it is written in the laws of Moses, all this evil has come upon us in the land of our captivity, here in the Americas, in the Caribbean, Great Britain, Africa, and abroad. O Lord, according to all thy righteousness, I beseech thee, let thy anger and let thy fury be turned away from thy city Jerusalem, and thy people and thy holy mountain. O Lord, hear this prayer and cause thy face to shine upon your sanctuary and your people for your sake. O Lord, open your eyes and incline your ears to hear and behold our condition. O Lord, hear. O Lord, forgive. O Lord, hearken and do and defer not, for thy own sake. For all your people in the land need you desperately at this hour. Peace be unto you. Okay. I'll read the Psalms. Okay, I read Psalms 68 last night. I'm gonna read Psalm 69. Okay. Say it's a cry of distress. Psalm of David. Save me, O God, for the waters are coming to my soul. I sink in deep mire where there is no standing. And I'm coming to the deep waters where the floods overflow me. I am weary of my crying. My throat is dried. My eyes failed while I wait for my God. They that hate me without cause are more than the hairs of my head. They that will destroy me, being mine enemies wrongfully, are mighty. Then I restored that which I took not away. O God, thou knowest my foolishness, and my sin are not hid from thee. Let not them that wait on thee, O God of hosts, be ashamed for my sake. Let not those that seek thee be confounded for my sake, O God of Israel, because for thy sake I have borne reproach. Shame have covered my face. I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children. For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproach of them that reproacheth thee are fallen upon me. And when I weep, I chasten my soul with fasting. That was of my reproach. That was to my reproach. I made a sackcloth also my garment, and I became a proverb to them. They that sit in the gate spake against me, and I was the song of the drunkards. But as for me, my prayer is upon thee, is unto thee, O Lord, in an acceptable time, O God, in the multitude of thy mercy, hear me in the truth of thy salvation. Deliver me out of the mire, and let me not sink. Let me be delivered from them that hate me, and out of the deep waters. Let not the water flood overflow me, neither let the deep swallow me up, and let not the pit shut her mouth upon me. Hear me, O Lord, for thy loving kindness is good. Turn unto me according to the multitude of thy tender mercies, and hide not thy face from thy servant, for I am in trouble. Hear me speedily, draw nigh unto my soul, and redeem me. Deliver me because of mine enemies. Thou hast known my reproach and my shame and my dishonor. Mine adversaries are all before thee. Reproach have broken mine heart, and I am full of heaviness. And I looked for some to take pity, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. He gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. Let their table become a snare before them, and that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. Let their eyes be darkened, that they see not, and make their loins continually to shake. Pour out thy indignation upon them, and let thy wrathful anger take hold of them. Let their habitation be desolate, and let none, let none dwell in their tents, for they persecute him whom thou hast smitten, and they talk to the grief of those whom thou hast wounded. Add iniquity unto their iniquity, and let them not come into thy righteousness. Let them be blotted out of the book of living, and not be written with the righteous. But I am poor and sorrowful. Let thy salvation, O God, set me up on high. I will praise the name of God with a song, and I will magnify him with thanksgiving. This also shall please the Lord better than all the oxen or bullocks that have horns and have hoofs. The humble shall see this and be glad, and your heart shall live that seek God. For the Lord heareth the poor, and despiseth not the prisoners. Let the heavens and the earth praise him, the seas and everything that moveth therein. For God will save Zion, and will build the cities of Judah, that they may dwell there, and have it in possession. The seed also of his servants shall inherit it, and they that love his name shall dwell therein. So that was Psalm 69. It's a cry for distress, a song of David. Anybody have any comments? Okay, so I would just go to a couple of verses. It says, David says in verse 8, I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and I'm an alien unto my mother's children. So if you look at that and understand what was done when they concocted JC, same thing's supposed to happen to him. He came to his own, and they rejected him, but they getting it from here. 9, for the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproach of them that reproacheth thee are fallen upon me. And so that's right there is another example of his the order that a lot of people don't understand. When you see Michael, you see Yahweh, because he represents Yahweh. So when you see David, you're looking at Michael, because he's standing in that position. So David says the zeal. Michael has a zeal for the Lord, for Yahweh. David got zeal for Michael. So everything he do is in his zeal for his Lord. So it says, for the zeal of thine house have eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproach thee are fallen upon me. Okay. So in the comments, okay, we go to some current events. Okay.
Cities are now warning the American people that we are in danger. They're saying more than 150 million Americans are in danger in the coming months. So if you live in cities like New York, LA, Chicago, Philadelphia, San Antonio, San Diego, San Jose, Seattle, Portland, okay, Denver, Miami, we are going to see massive, massive issues. One of the things I can tell you right now is that millions and millions of people are going to feel the effects of what is coming. And what is coming is something that Democrats are doing at this time. I'm going to break this down in just a moment. Make sure you stick around for this entire video, so I'll explain exactly what is going on. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. Now, let's begin. So something very interesting just happened, and it's happening to some major cities all across the United States. And it's actually taking effect in sanctuary cities. A sanctuary city is simply a city that is pretty much allowing safety for immigrants that are coming into the United States that do not have legal authority to be here. Okay? Now, I want to show you this. The New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, he's calling for changes to New York City's sanctuary policy. I want to play a video clip from him. Listen to this right here.
I don't believe people who are violent in our city and commit repeated crimes should have the privilege of being in our city. Some people have a different belief than that. You know, that is my belief. And if I had my way, if you are repeatedly committing crimes in our city, like the individual did a serious crime and then got out and went and assaulted and did a robbery, you don't have the right to be in our city. and tarnish those overwhelming number who are here following the rules.
That's what he had to say just the other day. Now, with that said, he is not the only Democrat to come out and say we need to change our policy. But here's what you need to look at, okay? This right here is a map. This map right here is of the United States, obviously, but all these are sanctuary cities in red. In green are sanctuary states. In yellow are sanctuary counties, okay? That, and obviously, you know, we've got Texas down here, that there is no sanctuary city, county, or obviously not a state. Here's what you need to keep in mind. Millions and millions of people are going to be impacted because of what's happening in all these different locations. This is, you know, a fairly up-to-date sanctuary city list. However, more states, more cities, more counties are actually voting to either become a sanctuary city or reject it. Look at this one right here. A Colorado town, it's Monument, Colorado. They voted and they declared themselves a non-sanctuary city. They voted against it. And it has nothing to do with, according to them, they say, our decision is not about discrimination or being anti-immigrant. That's not the reason why. According to the mayor, it's because of resources, not because of they want to go and block this and not allow people in. But the reason is they would rather have resources available to their residents, to the taxpayers, to the people that are voting for them. I was listening to an interview done on Fox News, and this interviewer kept on asking people that were coming across the border, hey, do you support Donald Trump or do you support President Biden? And everybody said they support Biden. They do not support Donald Trump. And if it was in their, you know, if they could, they would vote for President Trump or President Biden again. Now, people coming across the border cannot vote yet, but it seems like that's part of the plan. I want to show you something else as well. Not the illegal immigrants.
Attention retirees, if you're willing.
The American citizens, people that have lived here in the United States for years, for decades. These are the ones that this is all they know. They're the ones that are going to feel the impacts. Now, I want to get back to this little map right here. Because here's what we know. Washington State, Oregon, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado. Those are the states on the West Coast. Or I guess Colorado's technically on the West Coast, but those are the states on the West Coast. Okay, those 6 that are going to feel the impacts the most. Utah, even though it's a sanctuary state, they say that is not going to feel a lot of the impacts because that's not a state many immigrants want to go to. But on the East Coast, you got New York, Massachusetts, Washington. You got North Carolina, Illinois. Those are the states that are going to feel the impacts the most. Okay, those states over here on the East Coast. Now, where does that lead us? Well, here's the issue. We are going into an election, you know, in the next handful of months. This upcoming election is going to decide who is the next president of the United States. Is it going to be President Biden again for a second consecutive term? Will it be former President Donald Trump for his second term, obviously not consecutive? Or will it be somebody else entirely? Most likely not. It's going down to those 2 people. One of which says we need to provide additional security to the American people. And the only way to do that is a mass deportation event. That is former President Donald Trump. He is looking at deporting, you know, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people. We don't know. But the other side is, okay, we need to provide additional security to the American people. We need to secure our border. But in order to do that, we just need more money. That's it. Just put more money at the U.S. border. Let's send more money to other countries, and then that will fix the problem. Well, here's the issue. One just wants more money. to other countries and to the U.S. southern border. One wants to deport more people from the United States. Based off of what experts are saying, those two options are both good, but there has to be a happy medium. We are going to have to deport more people, not millions of people, but we will have to deport more, especially those that are violent. Just like the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, stated, if you are violent, you're committing, you're a repeat offender, and you're in the system. Maybe the second time we kick you out of the country.
Okay, any comments on that?
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do, Mr. Leonard. It's crazy, right? So therefore, you bring in all these people that's going against Donald Trump, which I'm either in or out. I don't care about none of that stuff. But if you can bring people in here to vote and go against him, it's the same people that he wanted them borders locked up for. So therefore, they're going to say they're going to vote against him and let Biden come back in.
Right.
You know, it's like science.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right, exactly. And me looking at that, listening to that video, I was thinking about how he mentioned all these cities all over the place. Well, if you look at them from a biblical perspective, Cain, when he left from the garden, he went and he built the city. So Yahweh, yeah, and the Lord of hosts, they have problems with cities. They don't like cities because sin build up. You know, he didn't want us to build houses on top of houses, skyscrapers and all that. He's against that. And so it takes me to Genesis 18 when he sent the three angels they went to go to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? So now we looking at every one of these cities that he mentioned is Sodom and Gomorrah's. And they ain't no different. And not only that, way more people there, way more sin being projected than Sodom and Gomorrah. So they struggling to try to keep a system that's in place that he got a problem with, not understanding that the Creator destroying it.
Yes, sir. And then I seen a video today. They was talking about how the Jewish is running everything. There's this guy talking about we Jewish, we running everything. We got all the money. We got all of this. We got all of that, and they do. Technically, it's the truth.
Right.
So you know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, hold on. Let me turn this TV down. But yeah, this Jewish guy is talking about how he's running everything. They got all the money, they got all of this, and they telling you this. And they say we are the chosen people. When technically we already know. I mean, the world has already shifted. We know Revelations 2 and 9. We know, I mean, for the New Testament people, they understand it.
Right.
But
Exactly.
for these people to come out and tell you we run everything, it justifies Revelations 2 and 9. When they know they didn't suffer, and like you were saying, they still under the curses, so they can hide what they suffering. But it's not like the suffering that we're going through. They didn't do no slavery, they didn't do captivity, they didn't do this. But it's like a soft spot for them.
Exactly.
To feel sorry. You know, Hitler did this, Hitler did that.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
They're trying to attach themselves to the countries in Deuteronomy 28 by blowing that up, but actually it's tied to Ezekiel 35.
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's correct.
Right. Okay. Got another one right here.
The UN is
Hand of the
relocating
Lord.
many of its staffs from New York to Nairobi, Kenya. And it had people questioning why exactly they're doing this. Let's look at this from the Kenyan point of view. Kenyans were asking, why do you need to relocate? This is, by the way, it's reported that this is a mass relocation.
Mass relocation of the UN. It's in New York.
Let me read for you what Pulse Live Kenya reported. They wrote, this strategic move aiming to place the agency closer to the communities it serves has sparked concerns among many of the affected employees. About a quarter of the staff in the New York office will be affected. A quarter of the staff that is based in New York is going to be relocating to Nairobi. People were questioning. Let's not even get into what exactly they're doing here, what exactly they want to do, because according to their reports, they want to be closer to the people they want to serve, right? So we'll get into that in a little bit, but I want to talk about how much this is going to impact the Kenyans on the ground. Kenyans that are looking for a job, Kenyans that are going to be affected because of this when it comes to gentrification.
So, like I was saying earlier in the previous video, nobody's looking at the hand of the Lord. They act as if this system is going to go on forever and ever. They're not looking at the hand of the Lord.
As you know, whenever expats
And Mr. Leonard, like you were saying, there's nothing new under the sun. He already
Exactly.
beat them down when we came out of Egypt. He beat them down in all these places. And like you said, nobody's looking for the hands of the Most High, the Lord, our Redeemer.
Right.
They don't
Right.
see that. So
They don't
that's
see
why
it.
they're ignorant of it. And they don't
Exactly.
think that this can happen because honestly, if I was on the outside looking in, I would say this is surreal. This can't happen to this place. Ain't no
Right.
way that we
Right.
can fall.
Exactly. Exactly. It's no different than in Babylon. And then I've been doing a lot of backtracking and digging off in the Chaldeans with Gilgamesh and all that. They believe the same thing. They
Yeah,
thought
and they believe the same thing with Noah. It ain't no way it's gonna keep raining and it's gonna flood. Ain't no way.
that, like I said, pagans. Is that something?
sent to countries like African countries, they are going to put them in areas or place them in areas where they think are the safest, or they think they're going to be easier. They're going to have access to more things, right? So this has caused a lot of gentrification in a lot of cities, and that's a problem not just with UN staff, but many international organizations, multinational organizations. Whenever they come to a country, they make things more expensive for the locals, and the locals don't appreciate that for obvious reasons. If they were buying bread for $1, now it's going to be $3, because guess what? The expat or the staff member from New York that was relocated to Nairobi is
So like I was saying, that's a major sign. If you have any kind of recollection of history or whatever in this country, and it's plight, and now all of a sudden the UN is relocating. If that ain't a sign, I don't know what's a sign. That's crazy. They all of a sudden they packing up bags, relocate, and then not only that, to Africa. That's where they headed. And did something.
It's the same thing when they say that they moved Wall Street. They took Wall Street out, right? Didn't they make a place for Wall Street? Yes, sir. It ain't here where they think it is.
Right. And you got all this stuff going on with New York, but they ain't nobody see that. Okay, here goes some need to know information. This another one.
So guys, John, the U.S. Army has just let go of 24,000 roles as of 1 hour ago.
The Army is slashing 24,000 positions in a move to restructure the military branch.
24,000 positions. And police departments are letting go of officers, sergeants, and detectives all throughout the country. Why are they doing this? Chicago and Colorado and New Jersey and California. Why are they doing this? Well, they're getting ready to replace a lot of these roles, a lot of these American positions with migrants. Millions and millions of migrants have entered the southern border in the last several years.
A sharp increase in Venezuelan arrivals is contributing to a recent spike in migration along the U.S. southern border.
Some estimates are as low as 3.8 million. Some go as high as 7, 10, 11 million. And a lot of these people that have just entered here were promised a great life. They were promised a way in which they could provide for themselves, work permits, they were promised all these things, and they didn't really get what they were promised. And they're in desperate situations right now, a lot of them. They don't have a job lined up. They don't have, some cush life that's just ready for them. So they have to do whatever they have to do to get by. Well, now there's new bills and laws being worked on where migrants can get a fast path to citizenship by joining the military.
Just stocked up on a ton.
King Alfred plan.
That's his song. And Rex 84.
Rex 84. Who they gonna get to gather us? Who they gonna get to do this?
Right. Exactly. When I look at that, two things come to mind. The King Alfred plan, Rex 84, and us leaving here. Mass exodus, because knowing what they're getting ready to do with us, they already putting our replacement here. And so like the guy was saying, they put them in the military, they opening up law enforcement positions because they don't want they want some of their own kind to be governed over them. They want them to see some of their own kind.
Yes, sir.
Water, but you can see, if you're looking at it, you can see they getting ready to do something with us.
Yes, sir. Because they not blessed from their hands. Their hands is not a blessing like it was for ours.
Oh yeah, exactly. And
there's no more atoms. There's only one atom.
Oh yeah. You can see these.
That's why they call it the atom bomb.
Right. Ain't that something? You can see how they can see. You can see that knowing prophecy, because it's Esau going behind it. Wherever we at, that place is blessed. So they know where we going. That's why the UN going to Africa. They following where the money is, where the blessings at. They know that. They want to keep control of that. It's as if they can look as if they doing it from being obedient to the Lord, but they're doing it because they're thinking that they're going to continue on with what they've been doing, keeping a hand, keeping a strong arm over us, no matter where we go. But
exactly, and they want to call it a strong man. They strong man when we got a strong man, but they trying to say they got a strong man like Revelations and all this other stuff. They trying to make these things happen.
Exactly. And they've been doing it for so long, they think it's business as usual. But prophecy catching up with them. Okay, let a little more of this play.
Forces. And so you start to look at what's really going on in America, you can see things very, very clearly. That we're walking into a world of change, and we all need to get prepared for it. We all need to see things for what it really is to make smart, well-informed decisions based on facts. Please hit the like button, people share the content, educate more people. Know what's going on in America? If you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you. At my company, greatcreditfast.com, that's greatcreditfast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosure, respect, or is the real intent to remove some of these roles by getting rid of the people that could be problematic, people that aren't going to just go with anything. They have their beliefs, and their beliefs are going to stand on them, even if it means losing their spot, right? And so you have 8,400 people that just lost their role, and now they're working on this. So according to the Pentagon official, the U.S. military failed recruiting goals in 2023 by 41,000, and more struggles are expected in 2024 after the House of Armed Services Committee was informed in December that the acting undersecretary for personnel and readiness at the Pentagon, that 11% of kids today would not be eligible for military service due to being overweight, and that 77% of today's kids would not be eligible without a waiver. So then this bill comes, right? This bill comes out last week, right? It was 6 days ago. U.S. law proposes faster American citizenship for Kenyans and migrants from other countries, right? This is U.S. Congressman Pat Ryan and John James have introduced the Courage to Serve Act, a bill aimed at providing a way to fast-track American citizenship for migrants willing to serve in the military. The legislation seeks to address two pressing issues in the United
Hey,
States.
Mr. Leonard, can I say something
All
real
right.
quick, Mr. Leonard? How
Okay.
could America is the strongest country in the world? So they
Exactly.
say. So imagine if you live in your house, everybody that's on this channel, if you own your house and you live in your house, how could somebody move in unless they bought your house? So China runs New York and all these countries own this place. That's how
Right.
come they got to allow them to come in. They can't
Right.
come in like this unless they own this place.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Yes, sir.
You better pay attention to that. And like I was saying before, we look how they, like you said, all of a sudden it's a fast track to make them citizens. And then you got to look at the layout, what they're showing us. That Trump is all, he just strong arm and everything, and his objective is to run the migrants, the immigrants, and all these people out of here when he go in office. But look what they're doing.
Yes,
Look what
sir.
they doing. He ain't going.
Biden got $30 million from
Right.
China. He got all this money from these different places. So
Right.
they own this place. It's a corporation anyway. So if I tell you I'm sending all these people to your house, to my house,
Exactly.
I paid for this house.
Exactly.
All you got to do is pick a room. You stay in your room, and the rest of them's going to occupy your other rooms.
Right. My other
That-
room.
yes, sir.
Exactly. And the way he is looking, how is Trump gonna win? When look what they're doing. Everything he talking about is against that. So it's some kind of trick bag getting ready to happen. Either it's not gonna be America as we know it's gonna be nullified before the election, or they're gonna do some kind of trick bag because Trump don't add up to what they're doing.
Exactly. America's been bought and paid for, and Trump's not trying to hear that.
He ain't trying to hear that. So something going on. It's some kind of
Shalom.
trick, and it's between 9 months. Go ahead.
Shalom. And most of the military people, I mean, most of the Chinese that's coming over is military age, and that's coming into America across the border. So, like Brother Markel said, if they own things, look, these um, Chinese people of military age, they are joining up, and like they mentioned, how they're taking some of the military Americans out and replacing them, not just with any old um, immigrant, these Chinese immigrants that's coming over.
Yes, because this is their homeland. If China bought this place, like they said back in the day, I don't know if y'all remember, but the biggest skyscraper in New York and the biggest hotel in New York, China built it and bought it.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
This is a corporation. When you think about a corporation, you have to think about it. If it's a corporation, then that means it's a bunch of different parts to this thing. It's just not one part. It's a corporation. It's to be sold. Like they used to say back in the day, game is to be sold, not told.
Right.
So they're selling it.
Right.
And anybody that's invested in it is going to get their profits from it.
It's like the Federal Reserve. Now, people not getting that, but it's owned. You think it's part of the government, but somebody owned the Federal Reserve.
Exactly. The Rothschilds. He just died, and
Right.
his son talking about taking over everything.
Right. And the corporation, they can be sold, bought and sold. So and that's what we're looking at. Like I said,
Yes,
how
sir.
can you turn the Empire State Building on New Year's Eve night to the all Chinese colors, Chinese flag?
Yep. And how could you turn the White House a rainbow color?
Exactly. They're showing you the signs, but we're not We're not paying no attention to them. We
And then they want to go to Africa and tell you you gotta have faggots in Africa. Excuse my French, but
right,
faggots in Africa. And then they
right,
want to do that, but the White House under black ass big ear Barack Obama and his
right.
Michael gonna turn it a fruity color.
And there's some.
Think about it.
Oh yeah,
We reap what we sow.
exactly.
Shalom. They I looked it up,
Okay.
and China owns 380,000 acres of land, farmland. So they're going to be in
Right.
control of the fruits and vegetables.
And that's their land, Cheryl. That's
Yes,
their land, correct?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so who's gonna stop them from coming in?
No one.
Come on.
Right. And you get and like you was talking about earlier, the Chinese men that's coming in a military age. No, they Chinese military. They already in the army. They already in the Chinese army. They coming over here, coming through the border. They already military. Like when they say Chinese nationals, it's just the same thing with the Arabs and the they talk about sales. You know, the Arab sales that they have over here. It's no different than that. The men
Right.
already, they're already soldiers.
Yep.
They,
And
they
look at
come here,
Caterpillar.
yeah, they got orders.
You
They just come,
said Caterpillar,
go
Mr.
ahead.
Leonard, you said Caterpillar.
Right,
Caterpillar left this place back then. They sold it out already. This place has been sold out.
exactly.
Yes,
But they
sir.
got to break it down. They got to, like I said, it's got to be a controlled demo job. Can't just collapse because it'll be like a black hole. So they doing it little by little in order to bring in what they got coming. And like I say, the Lord of hosts and heaven and all that is not they're not factoring that in. They think they're gonna be able to keep doing what they've been doing for the last 2,500 years or so. But you can see if you're looking at it from a biblical perspective, you can see it's going down.
And the
They
Most High said that He look over you, He'll smile over you to do good, and He'll smile over you to do wicked to you. And this
it's
place is
done.
done.
It's done. It's cooked. Now, there's something. So yeah. So with that being said, we'll open it up for some Q&A, questions or comments. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? They heard, they came across on the line before we go into our reading.
I just
Okay.
want to say shalom, and I hope that people really get in this understanding because it's deeper than it really is. It's a
Right.
rabbit hole that you may not want to go down, but it's something that's necessary.
Right.
And if people are sharing this, all praise the Most High. Send that collection plate around.
Right. There's some. Okay. We play this right here, then we start reading out Jeremiah.
Potential trucker protest. Governor Kathy Hochul is warning drivers take precautions, heed the warnings. So we're getting the warning out early, so all the truckers and truckers associations can get the word out as well. It's a ban on tandem trucks and tractor trailers.
The very high likelihood that there are going to be protests. That's because we've seen hundreds of protests in New York City already.
The New York Times reports several major investment firms are leaving.
Thank God for truckers.
Red, what could this boycott do to prices, not just in New York, but for all of us across the country?
Now, the city.
So I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but they just they bum rushing the stores, cleaning shelves like they did before with the virus, with the jab. So that's going to start a snowball effect.
Braces for an influx of
And Mr. Leonard, that January 6th was already planned. They said the feds and everybody was in on that. Military, they let them in. So you mean tell me that we speaking about this, no food coming in to New York, and they want to blame it on Donald Trump? No, New York has to go. We've been saying this. New York got a tsunami coming. New York's going to be buried. New York is done.
Exactly. Like I say, it's no different than New York make Sodom and Gomorrah look like walk in the park.
Exactly.
Right.
There are fences up, there are police officers on horseback, and they're going to have a security perimeter that stretches for several avenues here. And this is because of the two factors, the two issues that you sort of alluded to right there. The first is
yes, and you show me the man, I'll show you the crime. That was a famous saying from Stalin's chief of police. That's how the prosecutorial system is now working against Donald Trump today.
The best business to start in 2023.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody know, but Donald Trump has a little bit more power than anybody think. You know, his father got all the records from Tesla. Did anybody know that? Tesla is Elon Musk, but his father gave all the records to Donald Trump. Anybody know that?
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. His father, Donald Trump, got all the records and all the portfolios and all that stuff from Tesla. Look it up. Facts.
Is there something?
Crime, Sean. You want to think about the people who did business with Donald Trump. They made money off of those interactions, not just average consumers, but financial institutions. So for her to bring this case, I think is a legal and unconstitutional violation. And when that's overturned on appeal, she's now talking about seizing Trump's residences and real estate properties. I want to know what property of Letitia James is going to be seized when this is overturned on appeal for the damage this is doing to our country and to trust in the standard of the rule of law in the United States of America. We need accountability when this is overturned on appeal. But for now, I'll say this is a travesty of justice, and this should not happen in the United States of America.
Legal hits keep on coming for Donald Trump, and the world is waking up to the full banana republic nature of the judgment handed down against the former president in New York City last week.
The corrupt persecution by this regime will not stop with me. Oh, it's not going to stop with me. I mean, they gave me a fine of $355 million for doing nothing wrong. This was a fine like never seen before. And you know the amazing thing, the Republic, the people in this country, they understood it immediately. It's all a big hoax. If I wasn't running, I wouldn't have been sued. None of these indictments would happen.
How much is this just the Democrats utterly weaponizing the justice system to punish Donald Trump?
Well, it's unparalleled and unprecedented. This statute has never been used in this way in the history of the state of New York. No comparable statute has been used in this way in the entire country. No case like this has ever been pursued against a leading political opponent of the presidential candidate, or anybody for that matter.
I've been indicted more than some of the greatest criminals in the world for nothing. For nothing. If my plane flies over a blue state, that evening I get a subpoena to report to a federal grand jury.
So
why is it that, Mr. Leonard? Why is it that this man is he's being prosecuted more than any other president? We got to think about this. He's being prosecuted more. I don't care about him. I keep the Most High first in my life. But what I'm saying is he's campaigning off of this. He don't have to go out to these countries. He don't have to go out to these cities. He don't have to do anything. They campaigning him. They making him a criminal for everybody else to say, yes, he's good at what he do, and we're going to vote for him again. It's a mind thing.
Right, they're making it the underdog effect.
Exactly. That's what they doing.
That's what they doing. They did it with Obama.
Yes, sir.
Right, and they didn't perfected it. So,
yes, sir.
All of how many voters came out. That was the most voters ever turned out in the last election. Well, it's gonna kill that. Everybody coming out. Because
Yes,
they
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Edom is a that man been doing this. The Esau is a mother. Never mind. Hey, yes, sir.
And then so check this out, but nobody paying no attention to. He the one way back. Like I said, when they had been spying out West Africa. They knew the Israelites was in West Africa. They knew the power of those males and all that. They've been spying out before they even showed up with the ships and got brought us over here. They already had plans on what they're going to do to us, our order, the order that we had in place. They had to do something with the order that the male, that the creator had set in place, and the female, he had to do something with that. Well, they didn't did that. Look at all these sisters. And so, but look what they're doing now. The face of the attack that's on Donald Trump is 2 black women.
I wanted to say that, but I've been trying to keep my ears clean around. But hey, we see it. Fanny, remember I said Fanny and all of them, they always putting these sisters and that division. These women, they use them and they use these brothers. Like I said, the same thing when COVID came out, it was nothing but black doctors. Because we got to give these black people this COVID. They always use us against us. And people don't get that.
That's Esau. Esau.
Wake up. Wake. What you say, Mr. Leonard?
Right.
Hebrews. Wake up. Wake up.
Right. He's the one behind it. So you build them up, you tear them down. Like I said before, watch all the drama gonna come out behind this other lady in New York. They gonna
Exactly.
Like they're doing the other one, they doing this. And so
yes, sir.
It's an attack on black women in general.
It is.
It's part of their plan. Yeah.
It is an attack on them because they making the whole world can't stand black women. That's the problem. I get it. That's why I speak up for my sisters. I may talk my shit, but you don't know what road you're going down. You sabotaging yourself. Yes.
Right. They designed it. Right. It's designed. You gotta pay attention. They designed it long time ago. They designed all this. Oh yeah. It's like the election way back. We sitting back ignorant to the fact on it, but when Gore and Bush was in the election, it became tight, and it came down to Florida. They already knew it was gonna come down to Florida. From all the information from it's always drama in Florida.
It is. Yes, sir. And they say the black women. They say that black women when the first. What you say? The women live. They can't do nothing without them sisters. They had to pull them in. They had to get our sisters in. Now the white women was having problem with getting their ass whooped with they counterparts, and our sisters wasn't getting that, but they had to pull them in and empower them, and that's how they destroyed us. And I don't mean this in a malice way, but if you understand it, you'll see what they're doing.
Right.
You know. Let those with eyes see, and let those with ears hear.
Right. What you see happening now would have happened. You see them the place coming down. It came down a long time ago, but they flipped the script without the order that we had in our. Like I said, they attacked Harlem, they attacked Chicago, all our black high culture areas where we had an order in place. They came and attacked it, turned it upside down.
Yes, sir. I seen the migrant.
Lead in. We was already set to leave right there, but they came in, flipped everything upside down to where it said keep the world going.
I seen a migrant with a little baby. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but it was a migrant with a little baby he was speaking Spanish. And he said to everybody in Mexico and all these places, I got a baby here and I'm getting this much money a month and all of these benefits and I'm living good. Y'all want to come down here, just have a baby and come into America. If you're pregnant, come here. You can get all the benefits and everything. Right. You know, that's the way it is. What they trying to do is eliminate us and bring all these other people here. But the thing about it is our hands And us being here is a blessing. Like he said, you're gonna be in a house, you're gonna grow grapes, but you can't eat them. You're gonna build houses that you won't live in. These are the curses. These other people ain't getting them curses like that. So they won't prosper from it. But they thinking they can put us to the side and get the same blessings.
Right. Right. That's where the backfire coming in. As long as they're going along with program, it's cool, but now they're kicking against the bricks. And like I said, you can see it's going down. They ain't, there's no way they're gonna get out of this. Yeah. So let that primate, you know what I'm saying? But so we're going to our reading out of the book of Jeremiah. Somebody want to read where we stopped at? Anybody know where we stopped at? We stopped at
Jeremiah
chapter
15.
16.
16.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I believe.
Somebody want to start reading? Somebody start reading 16. We go like that.
Yes, sir, I can. Jeremiah chapter 16. The word of the Lord came also unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith the Lord concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begot them in this land. They shall die a grievous death. They shall not be laminated, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. For thus saith the Lord, enter not into the house of mourning, neither go to lament nor bemoan them, for I have taken away my peace from this people, said the Lord, even loving kindness and mercies. Both the great and the small shall die in this land. They shall not be buried. Neither shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. Verse 7. Neither shall men tear themselves from them in mourning to comfort them for the dead. Neither shall men give them the cup of consolation to drink for their father or for their mothers. Thou shalt not also go into the house of feasting to sit with them, to eat and to drink. For thus said the Lord of hosts, of God of Israel, behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes, and in your days the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. Verse 10. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, Wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Then shall thou say unto them, Because your fathers have forsaken me, said the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. And ye shall have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, and that they may not hearken unto me.
I'm
Therefore,
sorry, Michelle. I don't mean to disrespect you, love. I'm just saying, walk in other gods. Just like Deuteronomy said, you're going to go in the land where your forefathers knew not, and there you shall worship other gods.
yes, sir.
There we go. And we watching it right now. All praise.
So
Verse,
yeah, 13, finishing 13.
yes, sir. Therefore
Okay,
will I cast.
finish that. Then I got a question.
Okay, therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor.
Okay, so who he talking to in this 16? Who is he talking to? Anybody know?
The descendants of the Israelites.
and it's two baskets of figs.
Yes, sir.
And the righteous fig going to Babylon. So who are you talking to? You're talking to the wicked figs.
The bad fig.
Right. You're talking to the wicked fig. So let's look at it right here. Go to 25, 24. It says
Jeremiah chapter 24.
Yeah, the Lord showed me, and behold, two baskets of figs were set before the temple of the Lord. After Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and the princes of Judah, with the carpenters and the smiths from Jerusalem, and brought them to Babylon. One basket had very good figs, even like the fig that are first ripe, and the other basket had very naughty figs, which could not be eaten. They are so bad. Then said the Lord unto me, what seest thou, Jeremiah? And he said, figs, good figs, very good, and evil figs, very evil. They cannot be eaten, right? They are so evil. So that's the two baskets. Then you get down to verse 8. He says, as for the evil fig, which cannot be eaten, they are so evil, surely, thus says the Lord, so will I give Zedekiah, king of Judah, and his princes and the residue of Jerusalem that remain in this land, and them that dwell in the land of Egypt. So these are bad figs, right? He delivered them out of Egypt, right? He told them, don't never go back to Egypt, because you done been there, you done served them, and I brought you out with a strong hand. Don't anytime something happens, don't rely on Egypt. Don't go to Egypt. Well, some of these bad figs went to Egypt, and then you got a bunch of them still in the land of Israel. That's who we're talking to in verse 16. But one more thing I want to say before you start back reading. So go back to the order. Notice what he says in 10. He says, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt show this people all their words, and they shall say, look what they're going to say unto thee, to Jeremiah, wherefore had the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us? Check it out. Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord? Why are you doing this? 11. Then shall I say unto them, because your fathers, see that? The men of Judah, your fathers, come on, have forsaken me, said the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not forsaken my law. So why is he saying the fathers? Each one of these men got a household. There's an order inside that house. That's why he's saying 12. Ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart. And they may not hearken unto me. So,
and that's why they try so hard, Mr. Leonard, to get the fathers out the house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because it's threatening. They attack them.
Esau was raised by Abraham just like Jacob was. So he knows just where to go. They studied us for a long time before they showed up with those slave ships in supposedly 1619, but they had studied us for a long time, existing over in here on the West Coast. They studied it. And then not only that, Esau was raised by Abraham the same way. Same way Jacob was raised by him, Esau was raised too. He knows.
Exactly, he knows.
Right.
And that's why he tells you, I'll give you welfare. I'll be your zaddy. I'll be your huckleberry. I'll do this. But if I'm giving you this, you can't have no man around. Anybody else can still get those benefits and have a man, but we can't.
They don't see the spiritual part of it. It's a spiritual.
Exactly.
It's
yes,
spiritual.
sir.
We're looking at it from like I said, from a pagan perspective.
Exactly.
Just like if you approach this, the debacle that we have with JC, if you look at him from a spiritual perspective, you see he don't belong there. But if you look at it
Right.
from a carnal perspective, you're gonna sit there trying to hold on to him. But when you look at it spiritually, he ain't got shit to do with us.
Facts.
So yeah, go ahead. You want 14?
Yes, sir. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I have gave unto their fathers. Behold,
So
I will see.
right there. I want to shine light on that. So like I was saying earlier, you keep on hearing a second exodus, it's the second exodus, right? So what you just read in 14 says that the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the first exodus, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Is
It
that the
goes
first
back. Yes.
Is that the first exodus?
Back
Yeah,
in
not
Exodus, yes.
no, that's the first exodus, Egypt.
Okay.
Egypt, okay, 15. But the Lord liveth. He said they ain't gonna talk about Egypt no more. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of the north. Where's the land of the north? Babylon. Babylon. Think of the second exodus. You already got to say Babylon, the second exodus. That's why you see me keep on saying, telling you the timeline when the Israelites left the land of Egypt. They saying 70 AD for a reason. They got us all tricked off. So he go both exits. The first exodus in 14 says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord. This is the Lord of hosts. That's the deliverer. He's the deliverer. That it shall no more be said. This happened back in time of Jeremiah. It no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt. That's the first exodus. Then now they in Babylon, getting ready to they're gonna get delivered from Babylon. 15. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the north country, and from all the lands where they have been driven them, and I will bring them again into their own land, to their fathers. That I gave to their fathers. Where they at? They in Babylon, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And they telling you that this ain't the first captivity. I have to
Right.
keep on spanking them.
Right. We getting ready to the third exodus. We
Yes,
getting ready to
sir.
get it. Second exodus. They saying when you go along the second exodus, then that's how the same Negro that believe JC. They made room by saying that they making room for the JC when they plugged them in.
Yes, sir.
But this is the second exodus from the people from the North Country. So let's look at this, man. So you say, what are you talking about? Okay, you go to the beginning up here. He says, what we read earlier. It says, a scourge. I don't know where it is. I'm not gonna need to try to find it. But Jeremiah, when he first started, he says that. Okay, yeah, here you go. Might be in 6. O ye children of Benjamin, gather yourselves and flee out of the midst of Jerusalem, and blow a trumpet in Tekah, and set up a sign in the fire in Rakah, and the evil appeareth out of the north, a great destruction. I have likened to the daughter of Zion, to a comely and delicate, and the shepherds with their flocks shall come unto her, and they shall pitch their tents against her round about, and they shall feed everyone in his place. That's Nebuchadnezzar. He said a scourge come out of the north. That's what he told David. You're gonna die. I'm gonna be your sons gonna be on the throne, but I'm gonna be their father. If they do wrong, I'm gonna bring men here and shut it down. When they don't do what I say, I'm gonna bring men here. So Nebuchadnezzar, right here. That's what Jeremiah is telling them. The people out of the north coming, the Babylonians coming. So that's what when you go back over here to 16, where we at? Let me get it. Chapter 16, like I said, it says, Therefore, behold, the days come, says the Lord, that it shall no more be said. They in another captivity. They're in Babylon. So, but they got their history. They know their history. At one time, they was in Egypt, waiting on praying for a deliverance, and he came, and that's all they talked about. So he says, therefore, behold, the days come, says the Lord, that it shall no more be said. I'm through with Egypt. I didn't always shut that down. The Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel up out of Egypt. Then 15, but they in captivity now in Babylon. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. You can't apply that to today. That's Babylon. That's the second Exodus. 2 Exodus. They already happened. It says that the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel up from the land of the north and from all the lands whether thou have driven them, and I will bring them again into their own land and give them that I gave their fathers. And so, like I said, this how they hoodwink us, because it's an order in place. It's like a circle. Most High do the same thing over again. Like I said, 14 is the day of the Lord. They want you to think it's just one day of the Lord, and we all waiting on Jesus, the day of the Lord, to come back. This is the day of the Lord right here in 14. When the day he showed up in Egypt and shut it down, that was the day of the Lord. A visitation. That's what that means. He visited the people that had his people in bondage. He came to Egypt, visited Egypt, delivered his people. He came to Babylon and visited them. That's 2. So it's already a second Exodus. And so they didn't trick us off by using that, using that format. So we in the same place now. We scattered all over the place. And the main location is where the Levites and the Benjamin, Judah and them is in America. But we scattered all over places. But the matter where we mainly at is America. Ain't no different than Babylon, no different than Egypt. But they got you thinking one day of the Lord. They know one day of the Lord.
And they stole that Torah, and then they want to come with the New Testament, because in Jeremiah 32 and Jeremiah 32, I don't know which 32 and 31, but 32 and 32 before that, it says, I will make a new covenant. So now you want to deal with JC, right? I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenants that I made, not according to the covenant I made with the fathers in the days that I took them by the hand and bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break. But now they want to bring a New Testament in there because it's something new.
It's a new generation.
Yes, sir.
It's like the generation that's in Babylon ain't the same generation that was in Egypt.
Exactly.
And so they looking at this, and they that's how they came up with the New Testament.
Yes, sir.
They came and changed times and laws. That's what they talking about. They hoodwinked us. So another day of the Lord, when the flood came, he visited the earth because of sin. That's a day of the Lord. Day he visited the earth. Visitation came when he came to Egypt. A visitation came when he came to Babylon. We waiting on another visitation for him to get us out of here. So right here in Egypt and Babylon, what Jesus said, wasn't even no New Testament. So where he at?
Exactly. But he say he gonna do a new thing. Like he say he gonna give us our new language. Right. A new language. So everything new he's gonna do in these days, and those days, they took it and ran with it and gave you JC Slim.
Right. It don't add up. Like I said, when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, it's no way. It don't add up. Like I said, there's a second Exodus. We already got a second Exodus when they came out of Babylon. Yeah. So anyway, what year? 16?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord, and they shall fish them, And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And
What
first
is
I
eyes?
will
What's his eyes? What's his eyes?
say that again, sir.
What is his eyes? The seven angels, ain't it? The
Yeah,
eyes of the
yes,
Lord.
sir.
The eyes.
And not only that, not only that, but a fisher. Who's the fisher? Who's fishing? I'm a fisher of men.
Right.
So yeah, there you go. The New Testament, fisher of
Right.
men. I'm a fisher of men.
That's where it's coming from, right there. It's, as I say, the story was, they built the story up from looking at, from when they got hotel scriptures. That's how the character JC came into play. So the fishes is the same as his eyes. He's seven angels. That's who coming to get us in the last days. Fishers. Get us from all these places that we caught up in.
The fishers
Okay.
and the hunters are the seven angels, you said?
Right. That's who that
Okay.
is. Then 17. He said, for my eyes are upon their ways. What his eyes is? Seven angels, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but look, go to Zechariah. Yeah. No. Go to Zechariah. I go here all the time. See? Zechariah chapter 4. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10. For who are despised the day of small things, for they shall rejoice and see the plummet in the hands of Zerubbabel with those seven. They are the eyes of the Lord. There it is.
Facts. Facts.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 18.
Yes, sir. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 18. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin, double because they have defiled my land. They have filled mine inheritance with carcass of their detestable and abominable things. O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. Shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is the Lord. Selah. Jeremiah chapter 16.
Selah. Selah. That's why he said the man will be pursued like precious gold, precious metal, like gold. The men of the Most High.
Okay.
Because they've been lied to. They've been lied to, so they got to come back. They're coming back.
So it tell you right there who it is that, like I said, in 14 and 15, it's telling you that's two exodus. The exodus out of Egypt and the exodus out of Babylon, and 21 telling you who it is that done it. So it says, therefore, behold, who is I will this once cause them to know, and I will cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is the Lord, Lord of hosts. So like I said
Yes, sir.
before, with JC.
Yep. And is that, like I was saying before, we already understood that I am that I am. You know, we was talking about that as far as I am that I am. I know he spoke through him and let him know that he is that he is. But at the same time, he's just like him, for that's his namesake. Correct?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying, the
sir.
name. When you
The
understand what they
name.
done, it's the name is him, the Lord of hosts. It ain't, then it comes to
Exactly.
character JC, now it's his name. His name
Yes,
going
sir.
above everything, but it's not, that ain't how it go. Okay. Somebody want to read 17?
Yes, sir. Chapter 17, Jeremiah, verse 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their hearts and upon the horn of their altars. Rest of their children remember their altar and their gloves by the green trees upon the high hills. O my mountains in the field will give thy sustain, will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and they high places for sin throughout all thy brothers, and thou even thou thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which no thou knowest not, for ye gave kindle to fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Thus saith the Lord.
I
Cursed
don't mean to cut you off,
yes,
but that's Deuteronomy. That's Deuteronomy. That give thy enemies in the land that your foreparents knew not. There
yes,
it is, right there. It's saying the same thing.
yes. It's going to treat the same as they did the forefathers. The here, that's what he's
No,
saying.
Yeah, he's
it's just
saying
one.
you're gonna worship other gods, is what it's saying. You're gonna
Okay.
burn. You know, it's worshiping other fathers. You
That's
see what I'm saying, Mr. Leonard?
that's up in verse 2, right there. It says,
Yep,
verse 2, while of their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. That's the high places. And the groves,
yep.
all that's uh, idol worship, worshiping these angels. These angels up in the mountains, that's the high places. So they up in these high places. That's why he came and sent them to Babylon. They up in these mountains, worshiping these fallen angels and got these groves. Like a grove is a place where they met them at, where they appeared to them at, then they venerate that place and make a
Yes,
grove out of
sir.
it. So
Yes.
that's telling you right there in verse 2, which going along with verse 4, what they doing, the reason why he's sending them out of the land. Okay.
So I have a question, Brother Leonard.
Okay.
Shalom, excuse me. So is that saying in verse 2 that their children was, watching them do this right here, right? And that they will remember, or that their children will also be doing the same thing?
If you don't cut them off and could run them out of the land, they're
Gotcha.
gonna continue
Gotcha.
on from one generation to the next.
Okay.
Like he told them, if they disobedient, take your children to the hill and throw them off of it in front of everybody. Throw them off the cliff, down the mountain.
Right,
Correct, Mr. Leonard?
right. They gotta go through a process, and then they
Yes,
see
sir.
where there's no hope for the
First,
kid. Then they gotta
yeah.
get rid of them, root them out.
First, you take them amongst the priests, and then you
Right,
try to get recompense from them with the priests. If not, throw them off the hill.
right. Yeah, root out evil. That's judgments. When you say judgments and statutes, keeping the judgment and statutes, that's one of them. So look at the example of the groves right here in Isaiah 66. So we go to Isaiah 66, verse 17. See, so it says, start at 16. For by fire and by his swords will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. Then 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind a tree. See, that's a grove. In the midst, eating swine flesh and the abomination of the mouth shall be consumed together, said
Consumed.
the Lord. So that's the same thing. Grove worship behind a tree. They got wherever they met this angel at, or wherever they dealing with him at, they venerate that area. They make a big old just like when somebody get shot or killed and then they come there and put flowers all around there. That's what they do. And then they start worshiping that area. They come to the area and sanctify them. They figure they getting sanctified by coming back to that area where they met this being at. So that's what we talk about. Same thing over here in Jeremiah.
Yes, sir.
They're doing the
Yes, sir.
same thing. So where you at? Verse 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thus saith the Lord, curses be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the
Parched.
Parched.
parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and inhabited, not inhabit. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope in Lord is. For he shall be as the tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the rivers, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. 9. The heart is deceitful above all
Deceitful.
of deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doing. As as the parch, I'm sorry, as
It's
the
all right. It's all right. What I want to say is, it says in, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that truth is a man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from the Lord. For he shall be like heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, and shall inherit the parched places of the wilderness and salt land. Now, we can't live off of salt by itself. And when you say salt, if you're dealing with salt, you're going to be thirsty. There's no
yes,
water around. That's crazy.
Right.
yes, as the partridge 11, as the partridge setteth on eggs and hatches
Hatchet.
them not, so he that getteth riches and not by right shall leave them in the midst of his days, and it and at his end shall be a fool. A glorious high throne from the beginning is the place of our sanctuary. O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living waters. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved. For thou art my praise. Behold, they say unto me, where is the word of the Lord? Let it come now. As for me, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow thee, neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest that which comes out of my lips was right before thee. Be not a terror unto me, thou art my hope in the day of evil. Let them be confounded that pursueth me,
Persecute.
persecute me. Thank you. But let not me be confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let me not be dismayed. Bring up, bring upon, bring upon them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. Thus said the Lord unto me, Go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Judah comes in, and by the watch which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem. 20. And say unto them, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Ye kings of Judah, and all Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates. Thus saith the Lord, Take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. 22. Neither carry forth a burden out of your house on the Sabbath day, neither do ye any work, but hallow,
Hollow.
hallow ye the Sabbath day, as I commanded your fathers. But they obeyed not, neither inclined their ear, but made their necks stiff, and they thy might not hear, nor receive instructions. 24. And it shall become to pass, if ye diligently hearken unto me, saith the Lord, I will bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, but hallow the Sabbath day to do no work therein. 25. Then shall there enter into the gates of this city kings and princes, sitting upon the throne of David, riding riding the chariots and on horses, they and their princes, the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city shall remain forever. 26. And they shall come from the city of Judah, and from the places about Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the plain, and from the mountains, and from the south, bring, bringing burnt offerings and sacrifices, and meat offerings and incense, and bringing sacrifice of praise unto the house of the Lord. 27. But if ye not hearken unto me to hallow the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then will I kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the places of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched.
Hey, that remind me, Cheryl,
Yes, sir.
of Deuteronomy. Because Deuteronomy said that if you do these things is gonna happen. You can get good or you can get bad out of it. That's what it's saying. It's coinciding. Yep. If we keep these laws, we get these blessings. If we don't, this is what's going to happen. All praise.
All praises. Yes, sir.
Okay, somebody gonna read 17, 18?
Where we at on 18? What's I skipped it. What chapter we in?
18,
Of
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 18. And verse
Start at verse 1.
Jeremiah 18 and 1. The Lord which came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Arise and go down into the potter's house. Go down to the potter's house. And there I will cause thee to hear my words. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels and the vessel that he made to clay with merit clay, okay, merit clay in the land of the potter. So he made it again after another. He made it again another vessel as second good and the potter to make it. Then the word of the Lord came to me, saying, O house of Israel, cannot I do with you the potter? He's asking a question. Said the Lord, Behold, as the clay is the potter's hand, so are ye in my hand, O house of Israel. At that instance I shall speak concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom, a pilot up and to pull down and to destroy it. If that nation against whom I have pronounced turn from their evil, I will repent the evil that I thought to do unto them. Deuteronomy. And at that instance I shall spake concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom of to build and to plan it. If it do evil in my sight, that it obey not my voice, then I will repent of the good wherewith I said I hold benefit them. Now therefore go speak to the man of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I frame evil against you, and devise a device against you. Return ye now, every one from his evil ways, and make your ways and your doing goods. And they say, There is no hope, but we will walk after our own device, and will every one do the imagination of his evil heart. 13. Therefore, thus said, somebody saying something?
No.
Okay. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, ask ye now amongst the heathens, the motherfuckers, who have heard such things. The Virgin of Israel has done a very horrible thing. Will a man leave the snow of the Lebanon, which cometh from the rock of the field, or shall the cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken? Because my people has forgotten me. My people has forgotten me. They have burnt incense to vanity. They have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient path to walk in a path in the ways not cast up, to make their lands desolate and perpetual, hissing, everyone that passeth thereby shall be est- est- what's that word? Astonished
Yeah.
and wag his head. I will scatter them as with the east wind before the enemy. I will slew them to the back and not the face. I will slew them the back, not the face. In the day of their calamity, they said, then said they, come and let us devise devices amongst Jeremiah, for they Jeremiah, for the law shall not perish from the priests, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophets. Come and let us smite him which the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of the words. Give heed to me, O Lord, and hearken unto the voice of them that content with me. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have digged a pit of my soul. Remember that I stood before thee on to speak good to them, and to turn away the wrath from them, and turn away the wrath from them. Therefore, deliver us from their children to the famine and the poor, and their blood by the forces of the sword, and let their wives be
Bereaved.
prevailed,
Bereaved.
breathed,
Bereaved.
bereaved of their children and the widows, and let their men be put to death. Let their young be slain by the sword in battle. Let the cry be heard from their houses when thou hast bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me and hid snares for my feet. Yet, Lord, thou knowest all the counsel against me to slay me, forgive me not their iniquity, neither blot out their sins from the sight, but let them overthrow before their deal thus with them in the land in the time of thy anger. All praise the Most High. When we go to 19, thus saith the Lord.
I'm break down 18.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it says in verse 11, it's Jeremiah. So you got to understand, I was showing you the order. You got Yahweh, he sent these angels to talk. When the angel come, that's why the angel says to the man, thus says the Lord, thus says his Lord. That's how you write and divide what Lord it is. So the angel is speaking the words of the Lord. And then when the angel get to the man go to the people, to Jerusalem, to the Israelites, and he's speaking what the angel gave him. So when Michael come or Gabriel, one of them, and talking to a man, they know where that's coming from. That's where the fear come in at. So when the prophet or the priest or the seer come and talk to the people in Israel, fear is there because they know where it's coming from. He's not, the words he's speaking, he's not his words. Those words were given to him to bring to Israel. So when you understand that, it says in verse 11, now therefore go and speak to the men of Judah. This is the angel telling Jeremiah this. Speak to the men of Judah and into the inhabitants of Jerusalem, saying, Thus said the Lord, his Lord, behold, I frame evil against you, and I devise a device against you. Return ye every man from his evil way, and make your way and your doings good. And they said, There is no hope, but we will walk after our own devices, and we will everyone do the imagination for our own hearts. So they didn't just totally turn. They ain't trying to hear nothing the prophet got to say. So that's so in when you understand that they're turning away from the Creator and the Lord of hosts when they don't listen to the prophet. Yeah, so that's what the evil is. Then 15, because my people have forgotten me, they have burnt incense to vanity, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths, to walk in paths in a way not cast up, to make their land desolate. So when they disobey him and the prophet, that's automatically captivity coming. So it says, to make their land desolate and a perpetual hissing, everyone that passes thereby shall be astonished and wag his head, because they can't believe it. They know there's a living God over them people. How they gonna shake their head because they can't believe it? How is y'all not doing what he say? So 17 says, I will scatter them as with the east wind before the enemy, and I will show them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity. So right here, this verse right here killed JC. So he says he's gonna show his back. When they sin against him, he brings a nation there, run them out, and put them into captivity. He got his back turned to Israel. So that's where we was at up until recently. He had his back to us. At the same time, they told us JC is our Redeemer. But when you understand this, our Redeemer got his back to us. That's why so much atrocities have happened to us up until this point. And then that's why he said, when you amend your ways and make it good in the latter days and start searching the scriptures out, find me. So that means he ain't all this time he ain't been dealing with us. We ain't had no Redeemer.
Like you said, when they came off them slave ships, they put their hands in the air and didn't get no answer.
He's gone. He's right here. He got his back.
He's gone. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's how you understand that. So notice what they did in 18. Then they said, "Come and let us devise a device against Jeremiah." See that? They already through. They plotted a plan against Jeremiah, which in turn that's against the Lord of hosts, against Yahweh. Say, for the law shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him. See that? There go JC again. This is how they put JC in. See that? It's actually Jeremiah. But didn't they smite the story of the guy with JC got smited? Because he brought the word.
Yes, sir. He sure did. And like you were saying last night, you was talking about the vinegar. When I heard that, I said, that's JC. They want to give him vinegar, put him on a cross, and then pierce him.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's where they're getting all this from. When they got hold to our scriptures, that's where the character JC came into play. They're looking at what was happening to our prophets and Messiah David and all that. And they put it on JC. So it says, let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. Same thing they did JC. Said, give heed to me, O Lord, and hearken to the voice of them that consented to them. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have dig a pit for my soul. It's Jeremiah talking. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them and to turn away the wrath for them. So he's standing there speaking for them, just like JC did, speaking for them, but they turned on him. But they got all that right here.
And they said that it was going to be in the last days, good is going to be evil, left going to be right, right's going to be left.
Right.
Up's going to be down, down's going to be up.
So they took all them characteristics when they concocted JC, which is Serapis, which is artist, and then they put the Hebrew take on it and stuck them in the scriptures. That's why understanding is so important to understand when we left. Because they had to find a space, they had to open up a space to place JC in there to make it look like he's part of it. That's when they 70 AD. The nation of Israel came to an end at 143 BC with the Israelites. So then Esau came in, stole the land. That's where they placed JC at. That time between the time when Esau was in the land and 70 AD when he was reigning out. That's when they plugged JC in there. And they went
And
through
it's true because
the same people.
And it's true because if we look at it from a Hebrew understanding, it says that the mother gonna go against the father against the son, the daughter against them, and the father against them. We see that happening right now because it's by design.
Exactly. They got you thinking it happened back then, but now it's happening. Now that because they gave you an idol. And for 2,500 years, we've been dealing with an idol, and now truth of who the Redeemer really is, that's prophecy is coming to pass. It's just the son against the mother against the son's father against all because of this idol they gave us.
Yes, sir.
Now the
Yes,
truth
sir.
is coming out. Now the truth is coming out. And like I said, it ain't nothing but a thing because when you understand what has happened, it's nothing. It's above our pay grade. All we doing is bringing forth the truth and scripture and breaking them down.
And with all you're getting, get you some understanding.
Okay. Somebody else want to read one more verse, chapter before we go? Anybody want to read?
I'll read it. What chapter? Give it to me. I'll read it.
Okay.
What's the next chapter, Mr. Leonard?
19.
19. Thus saith the Lord, go and get a potter's earthen bottle, and take out the ancients of the people and the ancients of the priests, and go forth unto the valley of the sons of Hinnom, which is by the entry of the east gate, and proclaim there the word that I shall tell thee, and say, hear ye words of the Lord, King of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring evil upon the place. Let me see, place, which whosoever believe in this ears shall tingle, because they have forsaken me and have engaged. They have forsaken me, estranged the place, and have burnt incense in it unto the other gods, whom neither their nor their fathers have known. There you go, Deuteronomy. Nor the kings of Judah, and have filled the place with the blood of innocence. They have built. Okay, that's fine.
That's children sacrifice.
Yes,
blood
sir.
of the innocent, they sacrifice the children.
Yes, sir. And they said in his last days that we shall eat our own children, and people don't believe that. I watched the news today, and they talking about we gotta ban cannibalism. Ain't that crazy?
Right.
They have built also the high places, Baal, to burn their sons. There we go. Which fire for burnt offerings unto Baal, because that's what he was doing. They was eating their children. They were sacrificing their children, which I condemn not.
Commanded.
I commanded not, nor spake it, neither come unto my mind. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that this place shall no more be called too fat, 2 feet, too fat. I don't know what that word is. Tophet, nor the valley of the son of him, but the valley of slaughter. And I will make void the counsel of Judah and Jerusalem in this place, and I will cause them to fall by the sword before their enemies, and by the hands of them that seek their lives, and their carcasses will I give to the meat for the fowls of heaven and the beasts of the earth. And I will make the cities desolate, and in Hisson every one that passes through shall be astonished, and his astonished and hiss because of the plagues thereof. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons. Come on, come on, eat the eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege that the siege and straightness wherewith their enemies, and they that seek ye lives shall strengthen them. 10. Then shall thou break the bottles in the sight of the man that go with thee. 11. And shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, even so I will break the people and the cities, and one breaketh the potter's vessel, and cannot be made whole again. One that break the potter's vessel and cannot be whole again, and these shall bury them in that place till they be placed no bury. 12. Thus will I do unto the place, saith the Lord, and the inhabitants thereof, and even make the cities as too fat, whatever that is, and the house of Jerusalem and the house of the kings of Judah shall be defiled as a place of tumult because of the house upon whose roof they have burnt incense unto all the hosts of heaven, and have poured out drinks offering unto the god other gods. JC Slim, Allah Buddha. Then came Jeremiah from that place, whether the Lord has sent him to prophesy, and he stood in the courts of the land of in the courts of the Lord's house, and said to all the people, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, our Redeemer, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring unto the city and upon all the towns all the evil that has pronounced against it, because we have hardened their necks, that they might not know they. Hold on, let me read that again. I have pronounced against it, because they have hearkened the necks, that they might not hear my words. Deuteronomy, hard-hearted and stiff-necked people.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. This is Deuteronomy. When I read Jeremiah, I read Deuteronomy.
Right. So
It's
like I was
almost the
saying,
same.
go back to they didn't the word that was brought to them by Jeremiah, they didn't want to hear it. So that turned on them. By them not hearkening to the words that was brought to them by the prophet. He ended up sending them to Babylon. We're going to read that later on in the chapter, later on in this book, that he brought the evil on them because of all what we read now. So we'll stop right there. And next week we'll pick up at what that is. Pick up at 20. Yeah, 20. Chapter 20.
Yeah, we're at 20, chapter 20.
Okay. Anybody have any comments or anything before we go? Okay. Everybody
I want to
good?
say shalom, everybody. Beautiful class.
Okay.
That's
So if
it.
nobody have anything else, I'll see everybody. We got women's line tomorrow night starting at 7. We're starting an hour early now. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Shalom, shalom, everyone. Great class. Thank
Shalom.
you.
Shalom, everyone.
Okay.